Welcome back to At Home with Roby. I'm Patrick MacIsaac from Roby Electric and W.H. Hobbs Plumbing, along with Trent Haston from the Roby family of companies. We are your hosts. We are still in the studio with my dad and my mom and Travis and TJ. We've got a full house in here, Trent.
Full house.
Full house. I like it that way.
So I wanna have a second of silence for my dear friend. I lost one of my very best life mentors this week. I always say I had three really strong business life mentors. My dad, a man named Wilson Worley, who passed away Monday evening, and Randy Burris. I've always very openly said that. And Wilson, we were talking about doing a development deal together. He was 78. He was going to transition his legacy company, 45-year-old business he had, to our business, and we were getting excited about it. And he had a seizure last week and never came out of it. So God bless my friend. But when I lose people, as you get older, you lose more people regularly. I get real nostalgia, so I canceled a couple days earlier this week, went and picked my son up, went down to Augusta, spent a night with my sister, something I've never done, just me and my son.
Good for you.
Had a great time, went to Outback. My dad was the Outback king, Bloomin' Onion, did the whole thing, and then I went down and hung out with my River Rat neighbor. That's why I saw him this week. I hadn't seen him in a couple months, and told my wife she knows what I'm going to do. She knows all my deal. But Wilson was a very special guy, and I used to tell him about my dad. And the story, real quickly, Dad's Purple Heart story, when my mom would be yelling at my dad. My mom loved my dad, but she'd be yelling at him because he works too much, and all I cared about was money and had no sentimental value. And I'm 7, 8 years old, and he'd come walking by, and she'd always go, "You sold your Purple Heart before you even saw me when you got off the ship, because all you do is care about money. You didn't even save it for your boys." And he'd walk by me and he'd say, "I needed that $500. Boy, I let somebody else act like they had a Purple Heart." And I was 8. That's how he'd walk on and shuffle his feet and move down. I told Wilson that story some years ago. Wilson loved my father, and he went through the process, took him about a year and a half, and got Dad a Purple Heart, got all the credentials, got it framed in a box, and then gave it to me and said, "This is for you and your brother to give to your father. I just did it for you because I love you and love your father so much." That's the guy that just passed. So
what a special story.
So real cool. So that's this week. So yesterday I'm riding on the road at 4:39 p.m. and I get a messenger pop up on my phone on Facebook, and it's from a kid that grew up the road from us. And I talked to this kid maybe once a year and then not for 5 years. He moved to South Carolina and grew up on the river. And just out of the blue, this way he sent me. I hadn't talked to him in over a couple years. Under cabinet on a side job, cutting a piece of pipe with a cable, like I've done 1,000 times. And every time I do it, I think of Papa Ron showed us to cut a piece of PVC with rope by the wood pile. Think he might even bet someone he could do it. and I came back. I said, it's things like that is how you make money and get the job done, But. Yeah. And I've always known that. I had forgotten that. Of course, probably my dad was one of the guys that showed me how to do that. But that's pretty cool, and it just brought it all together. So
that is cool.
And then the day we have your father on the radio, I've never been able to visit him at his home.
So that's your fault.
That's a sore subject.
Not with me.
But,
well, the joke is you're very similar to my parents' house. Was on the river, and all my friends. I mean, it was where my friends all lived. So every time I meet one of Patrick's other lifetime friends, they're all, "Oh man, you been down to John's house?" I'm like, "Nah, I've never been down there." So,
well, you have an open invitation.
I do. But if I go, I won't be able to give you a hard time about it anymore.
So
yeah, you can.
We're talking about Lake Keowee. Of course, that's where they live. And I thought it was great that you called me. You went to Lake Keowee with another one of your friends that's been on the show, Brent Beeson, and you said, "I just want you to know that my feet are in Lake Keowee, and I am angry that it wasn't on the fact that I was on your parents' dock."
Yeah,
that's what you said, and I had nothing to say. I was just like, "Hey,
the first time my feet were ever in Lake Keowee was not with you."
That's right.
But go Brent.
There you go. Brent wins this one.
Yeah.
Well, bring your skinny legs and come see us, and we'll compare them.
My legs are extremely skinny. I don't think I've ever lost a skinny leg contest.
I think if you put all three of our legs together, we'd have like a normal leg.
Well, there's another story. A dear friend from Charlotte, Barbara Rocket Charlie. How you doing, Barbara? Hope you're listening. And she has always harassed me about my skinny legs. And I've known Barbara for 40 years. And so recently we got together. We saw them with some other good friends, Charlotteans, Jim and Jane Finch. And Barbara brought me a hat and a T-shirt from the Skinny Legs Bar. And so I wear that proudly. And I have another hat that I got. We went to Bald Head Island, and they call the lighthouse Old Baldy. So I wear my hat, my Skinny Legs T-shirt, and I fit right in anywhere.
Hey, you got to face reality, right?
You do.
That's it.
At age 71, you better start facing it.
Well, you doing good. 71's the new 40, though, right?
That's what I hear.
Yeah, that's just the new 40. I mean, I say that all the time. I don't. The age is so far out the window. When you get old and you appreciate life and people, you don't even look at age anymore. So I really believe that. Well, what else? Anything we're leaving out here?
No, I think we've got about a minute left. I'm gonna let's put you on the spot here. Okay, I'm gonna put you both on the spot. You know how much I like to talk about Clemson football. Tigers play tomorrow. Record a show on Friday this week. Play tomorrow against Virginia Tech. Dad, who you got?
Well, I got to go with Clemson. You know, Lake Keowee is 15 minutes from Clemson. Patrick went to Clemson, and quite frankly, we've grown to love it. So I'm going to Clemson.
Who you pick? What do you got?
I'm
Trent?
picking Clemson. And my buddy Brent asked me to go to the game with him.
But
God bless, I got Wilson's funeral. We were going to take the kids to Tweetsie for the end of the season, but I got Wilson's funeral. So I think Reagan's going to take the kids to Carowinds instead without me. So,
well,
go Tigers.
I'm with you, and of course, sad to hear about Wilson. He was a great man.
Thank
That story never gets old, and I hope you'll continue to tell it.
Thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful Sunday. Thank you, John.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for being here. We'll be back next week.